In the headlines, 4 days of public hearings on the Protection of State Information Bill kicked off in Parliament this morning, and Dr. Wouter Besson has told an inquiry that former President Nelson Mandela appointed him to the Citizen Force after he went on early pension in 1992. I'm Richard Brooks. 4 days of public hearings on the Protection of State Information Bill kicked off in Parliament this morning. This is the final round of public hearings following countrywide hearings conducted by an ad hoc committee of the National Council of Provinces. The bill has already been adopted by the National Assembly by the end of last year and is currently being considered by the NCOP. The bill provides for the protection of valuable and sensitive information held by the state and penalises anyone who publishes such classified information. Here's SANEF's Nick Dawes.
In its current form, the bill will impose both on journalists and citizens more broadly an untenable choice between our convictions and indeed our constitutional and common law mandate to expose wrongdoing in the public interest and the law, between informing the public as we're required to do and going to jail.
Chemical and biological warfare expert Dr. Wouter Besson has told an inquiry that former President Nelson Mandela appointed him to the Citizen Force after he went on early pension in 1992. Besson is testifying before the Health Professions Council of South Africa inquiry into his alleged unethical conduct. Sandra De Lange has more.
Besson says he was first appointed by the head of the Defence Force to oversee the last phases of the project aimed at destroying substances. He testified former President Nelson Mandela appointed him at the military hospital in 1995, where he served in cardiology services. Besson says the decision was taken after the governments of the USA and Britain indicated they wanted to appoint him as a civil, chemical and biological warfare expert. He testified the South African government decided to reappoint him as they did not want one of their citizens to be utilized by other countries. The hearing continues. Sandra De Lange, SABC News, Pretoria.
The ANC and COSATU have described their bilateral meeting held yesterday as fruitful and honest. The alliance partners met to thrash out differences over the issues of labour brokers and Gauteng's e-tolling system. Kumbuzine Tabete has more.
The ANC is adamant that its 2009 election manifesto, which COSATU endorsed, does not provide for a total ban on labour brokers, but for regulation of the practice to prevent workers' exploitation. The ruling party and the Labour Federation have agreed to hold a follow-up meeting in the coming weeks. They say, however, documents shared at the meetings and their discussions will not be made public.
US President Barack Obama says while significant progress has been made in strengthening nuclear safety at power plants, the threat of nuclear terrorism remains high. Obama was speaking at the start of the Nuclear Security Summit in the South Korean capital of Seoul. The safety of nuclear and other radioactive material and associated technologies is once again in the spotlight at the summit, which is attended by close to 40 world leaders, including President Jacob Zuma. The summit will also focus on the threat of nuclear terrorism. President Obama had this to say.
We are improving security at our nuclear facilities. We are forging new partnerships. We are removing nuclear materials, and in some cases, getting rid of these materials entirely. And as a result, more of the world's nuclear materials will never fall into the hands of terrorists who would gladly use them against us. Of course, what's also undeniable is that the threat remains. There are still too many bad actors in search of these dangerous materials, and these dangerous materials are still vulnerable in too many places. It would not take much, just a handful of these materials, to kill hundreds of thousands of innocent people.